Hello, Sunnyside. What a blessing it is that I'm able to come before you again and just share some information with you about things that I think that you just might want to know. Okay, in many instances, I'm sure you're already aware of it. Okay, as I start off, just do know that I understand that the hate crimes in America really have just somewhat escalated to the point that there now is a Hate Has No Place volunteer corps. If you'd like to get additional information about that, check into civilandhumanrights.org. Civilandhumanrights.org. If you are aware of a hate crime that's taken place, don't hesitate to call the number 311 or 211 or even 911. Okay? But again, LA is a place for everyone. Okay? And hate really has no place. According to the numbers, there's been an 89% jump in hate crimes, okay, since 2021. And 529 crimes have been reported in LA just this year alone. Again, don't hesitate to really do your part to eliminate that. Things have just been happening across the nation, really across the world. Weather related, in some instances. Jackson, Mississippi has a tremendous problem with water. Okay? So the people of Mississippi, especially in Jackson, are encouraged that if they are to take showers, to make sure that their mouths are closed so that they don't ingest any of the water. Okay, so this truly is an infrastructure problem, and it's not one that's just starting. Okay, hopefully it can really be repaired. There is a public safety forum that's taking place. And this forum really, I guess you can say, it's between Sheriff Alex Villanueva and Robert Luna, who are both on the ballot for this November 8th election. Okay, so this public safety forum will be taking place later on this evening, and I will be live streamed on Talk Radio, KBLA 1580 AM, Tavis Smiley's radio station. Again, that's the one Black Talk radio station that's west of the Mississippi. You just may want to check it out. Even though it takes place today, and today I think is 9/12, it will be replayed, so you'll get a chance to check that out. In Tampa, Florida today, we have the case of Andrew Joseph III, the 14-year-old who was killed back in 2014, and his parents tried to just get information about the death of their son. As it turns out, today will be the beginning of the trial, and it would run, I understand, for some 10 days. And today they're even starting out with the getting people to sit on the jury. Along with this, there's a whole question of qualified immunity for police. This family has been trying to get information about the death of their son, again, since 2014, and they still have not gotten an official record. So again, they're questioning the whole idea of qualified immunity, and they're pointing out the fact that their 14-year-old child, his name, okay, his good name, what kind of good name do you even not have as a 14-year-old child? Was besmirched, okay, or was injured in terms of them just trying to make the child look bad. It was one of those situations where he went on a school event. He went to the fair, and when he arrived, a number of his classmates were being arrested, and he dared to ask questions. So he was eventually arrested, put in a police car, and was taken off the fairgrounds, even though this was a school event. And he was released on one of those, well, if you've been to the South, you realize how those highways are. But he was put out, a 14-year-old was put outside. Okay, he was turned loose to get back to his ride. And he eventually was killed. He was killed. So again, his parents were really trying to get information for a number of years. And that case finally goes to trial starting today. So again, the question of qualified immunity, that is being closely looked at. That's a national issue that's being raised as well. Black Lives Matter, their group on the ground from LA is there, and people whose children or people whose lives have been lost, many of their families are meeting in Tampa, Florida, to offer support to the Andrew Joseph III family. Okay, so just be aware, our history just continues. Did I mention the fact that Queen Elizabeth II of England has passed? Okay, she died this past week, and upon her death, her son and his wife became the king and queen there of England. Okay, there's quite a bit of information still in the news. She has not been buried, and her body will lie in state for a while. So again, do follow up on that. Do follow up on that historical event. In Louisiana, Alabama, Georgia, and Ohio, judges are determined that the GOP draws congressional maps, that the drawn congressional maps were likely illegally gerrymandered, and that they discriminate against partisan and racial lines. At the same time, just do know that all four states, all four cases, in all of those cases, the elections this year that will be held are going to still make use of those maps. In 2 states, the Supreme Court ordered it. Okay, when considered alongside the Supreme Court gutting the Voting Rights Act, it points to an extremely alarming picture for the future of democracy. Former Attorney General Holder says that one of the most shameful aspects of gerrymandering is that it disproportionately hurts the voting power of communities of color, like voting ID laws and poll taxes before them. In many states, they rigged maps that clearly were put in place to dilute the political power of people of color. So again, just be aware of your history. Just know what has taken place in the past, and there is an all-out effort to still suppress your vote. And if you hear your friends say, "Oh, I'm not going to vote," just do know that you are just helping those who really don't want you to vote anyway. All right? So one way that you can fight back is register to vote, okay? And that is your way of speaking, all right? The form looks like this. And should you come to Sunnyside or should you go to your local library, these forms are readily available. And it's just a matter of you taking the time to fill it out, okay, and really turn it in, okay? All right, that's your way of really taking a stand and making your voice heard, okay? I'm one that takes part in the AARP. Okay, I'm a senior, okay, all right. I take part in the AARP Soul Steppers, and it's really a class, an exercise class that's offered. Now it's back online, okay? And following the recent class, there was Soul Steppers fraud presentation that followed our exercise session. A couple of the things that they mentioned were trust your instincts. If it sounds too good to be true, thinking about fraud, chances are it really is. So be careful. As you receive calls, and we keep getting them to the point that if you should call my house, chances are we're not going to answer the phone and we're going to listen to see who's speaking. Okay, if you say nothing, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, that happens. But as we get these calls, and most of them are telling us, okay, this is about Medicare, all right? And you need to know you need to make sure that your records are really up to date. And they're going and ask you, well, how old are you? Okay, be aware. Make sure you don't give out any unsolicited information, okay? All right, so just be conscious of that. At the same time, if you are offered a number to call to verify, okay, should you get a call, say it's from your bank, and they tell you to call this number, take the information down. But again, use the number that you know is appropriate. Again, these are ways to avoid being caught in a scam. There are a number of people now that could really benefit from the use of a call from someone who perhaps they haven't talked to for a while. As you look in your churches, okay, there are not that many people there. But just in case you should happen to miss someone, don't hesitate to pick up the phone and give them a call. Okay? Please just do that. Be generous with your calls. And as I say that, I phoned one of my friends just on yesterday, and that call took well over an hour and 15 minutes. She told me that she had had a stroke, that she had ended up selling her house, and that she was actually in a facility now, but she was just really pleased with the fact that she could afford to stay there. So there are blessings, there are mixed blessings all in there as well. So just be conscious and just know then that people that perhaps you haven't spoken with for a while really could benefit from just hearing your voice. And as I spoke with her some time ago, she was just saying that she thought that she would just never hear my voice again. So just imagine how your voice can be the medicine that's needed by someone. As I continue just sharing some things, note that some of the things that I'm saying may not benefit you, but it just might help somebody else. So pass along something that perhaps you might have heard me say. All right, and again, I'm on my history. Just do know that Tesla is being sued by some of its workers for discrimination in using the N word. Just be aware, it's still around. YOLA, YOLA, or the LAPhilharmonic.com, learn YOLA. And it's really an orchestra. Kids are being taught to play musical instruments, and it's done for free, okay? It's for grades 1 through 5, and really ages, there's a group for ages 12 through 18. And again, just take advantage of this, okay? Look it up, okay, YOLA, okay? YOLA, or the LA Philharmonic, LAPhil.com. The Los Angeles libraries, that's where I get all kinds of information. When I walk into the Miriam Matthews Library, there's one of the ladies that'll come up and she'll say, make sure you take this, make sure you pass this on, make sure you share this, okay? There are Cybernaut hours at the Miriam Matthews Library. They're on Florence and Van Ness. These hours are from Monday through Friday, 2:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. Again, so if you need some help with computer skills, feel free to just kind of stop by the library. If you'd like that number is 323-750-7241. Okay? Again, for help with computers, for information about computers. Someone gave me this flyer and told me to make sure I share it. The Olympics are coming. The Olympics are coming, okay? It's sometime down the road, okay? But at the same time, there's a group now that's looking for things within our area. It's called Cultural Treasures of South LA. They want to know what are some things that when people come from around the world, what are some things in South LA that they need to be channeled to? Okay, so if you're aware of a minority business that perhaps needs to be on this list, they're looking for responses, they're looking for information from the community, and they're going to accept responses through September the 30th. All right, so you may contact them by going to, here I go again, is it /? Okay, southlaculture.org /. Okay, again, / southlaculture.org /. Or you can simply call a number I don't see here right now. Okay, but again, if you have questions, call the church and I'll get the information to you. All right. One out pass. Okay. Computer classes for seniors are on Thursday at 3 o'clock. Okay, Thursday, starting in September, okay, at 3 o'clock, okay, there at the Miriam Matthews Library, okay? Now, this number is, I think it's a different one, okay? This number is 323-750-7241, okay? You do need to RSVP, okay? 323-750-7241, okay? So for basic computer use, okay, mobile devices, email, okay, all those things that we need to know more about. Okay. Also at the library, it's called the Quad Student Zone. Homework help for students. Okay. Those hours to help students then, Monday through Thursday from 3:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Okay, they're at the library. There's study space. They have computer access. There's homework help. They can freely print up to 10 copies there at the library. Again, the address is 2205 West Florence Avenue. Okay, and I'm one of the friends of the library, so I'm always there trying to give some assistance, give some input. So again, do rely on your library, but again, make use of those services that are available to you. Housing Department for the City of Los Angeles, Low Income Purchase Assistance Program, it's called LIPA, Low Income Purchase Assistance. If you're thinking about buying your first home, okay, and if you need help with your down payment and with closing costs, okay, consider this program. It offers loans of up to $90,000 for down payment, okay, closing costs, and additional purchase assistance, okay? They offer deferred payments. Again, no monthly payments. All right. Shared appreciation and 0% interest. You may want to do some inquiry if you know of someone who's interested in purchasing their first home. You can go through housing.lacity.org. Nothing is capitalized. Again, housing.lacity.org. Okay. You can also use the number 213 808 8800. Again, 213 808 8800. There is an Energy Corps, CCC Energy Corps, California Conservation Corps. Okay? All right. Be aware you can earn up to $8,000 in scholarships, and you can be paid while you're learning. Okay. Receive training. Okay. Year-round training is offered at Energy Corps locations here. All right. The requirements is that Corps members work variable shifts, often at night, to install lighting at schools, government buildings, and nonprofits. You must be willing to respond to emergencies and be on assignment for lengthy periods. Okay? But again, for additional information, call 323 326 7829. You can also go to ccc.ca.gov. Again, the number is 323 326 7829. Or go online, ccc.ca.gov. All right. Moving right along. Okay. If you're interested in perhaps maybe offering some assistance, and perhaps you're a senior, okay, you just have some extra time and you want to help the kids in our neighborhood, really. There's a program that's called Generation Exchange. Generation Exchange, okay? Men and women who are interested in contributing to the development of young boys and girls, a volunteer program that brings retired adults into K through 3 classrooms to help children achieve academic success. Overall goal is to improve educational outcomes for youth while also improving volunteer health outcomes. All right. If you'd like some additional information about this, you can email Deanne Morris, okay? She's out of UCLA. Her email is dmmoris@mednet.ucla.edu. Or I'm just going to give you the telephone number. Just call UCLA Division of Geriatrics at 310-825-8253. I know several people who've taken part in this program and they were quite pleased. Okay. As I'm getting ready to close, just do know that there is a mayoral election coming up. As you see things on the news, okay, don't believe everything that you see, okay? And don't be in a hurry to go and cast your vote. Kind of hold off just a little bit until you get additional information so you can just weigh things. All right, so just do know then that Karen Bass is running for mayor, and she received a scholarship from USC, okay? And there's questions now that's being brought into play. And as I looked at the LA Times, it says scholarship pulls Bass into corruption case. All right. And you know, there's still another case that's dealing with corruption. Okay. Again, don't be in such a hurry to jump to conclusions. All right. Karen Bass also has had 2 guns stolen as her house was vandalized when she was not there. Okay, so just be aware of what's going on in the news. Still closing down. Okay, Vanessa Bryant, the widow of Kobe Bryant, won a case of some $15 million against, I don't know if it was the city of Los Angeles, but in her lawsuit, LA County, okay? The funds that she received will be donated toward the foundation then that bears Kobe and their daughter Gianna's name, okay? So just be aware there's much that's still going on in the news. Venus and Serena Williams, okay, have been playing their sport, that of tennis. And Serena she said she didn't want to say that she retired, okay, but 40 love, okay, Serena bids her farewell, all right? So she put her hands together to make a heart, okay? So hopefully you've been following that. Okay, as she waves goodbye, but she was saying that she really wants to spend more time with family and with some of her other ventures that she has invested in. And just do know that she and her sister have earned some $136.9 million over the time that they have been playing tennis. Okay. As I close out, and I know there's some things that I forgot, okay? Just do know, do what's in your very best interest. Still wear your mask. Keep up with what's going on in the news. Stay alert. Don't be afraid to share your story with your kids, okay? I was interviewed by her name was Patricia Allen, and online she has a group. She has on YouTube. It's called. Now I wouldn't think of it, okay, but naturally something Patty. Okay. But anyway, if you go to my Facebook page, you'll see where she interviewed me, and it was during the time when it was National Gray Hair Day, and I spoke quite freely, about having gray hair, and really what a blessing it truly is. So check me out on YouTube as I'm talking about going gray, because I'm there. All right. Thank you, Sunnyside, for again allowing me this opportunity to just share more information with you. But again, just stay informed. Do what is in your best interest. Do what is safe. God bless.